today's video, we will take a closer look at the newest card coming with the newest Clash Royale update, the Mighty Miner. If you guys checked out yesterday's video, if you didn't do, make sure to do it now. It's gonna be the first link in the video description. I kind of talked about all the update features. I already told you guys the Mighty Miner is gonna be the newest card released by Supercell in Clash Royale. Today we will take a closer look, as I said, and trying to find the best free decks with the newest card in Clash Royale. Testing it out against CWA and Big Spin, and I'm really interested to see how the decks do and how good the card really is, trying to go over some mechanics, and this is what we're doing today, and I'm so excited. Please also let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the Mighty Miner. Is it really that good, or is it kind of overhyped? I'm really interested to see your opinion, so I would say we jump into the games and let's see how good this Mighty Miner decks really are. But before that, if you guys want to support my channel, make sure to use creator code more in the shop and also give a fat thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because when the Mighty Miner officially comes out, I will try to max it instantly and push #1 in the world, also using like the newest balance changes, decks, showing all of that soon. So it will be really exciting content coming up, so make sure to subscribe and activate notification bell. I would say now I'm gonna show you the decks and also the games with the newest card, Mighty Miner. This is the first deck I want to show you guys, which I think could be really solid after Mighty Miner officially comes out. We have Electro Giant, which just costs 7 elixir anymore. I mean, it got also some changes, some nerfs in general, less HP, less damage, but generally I think the elixir change with 1 less elixir is a buff in general, and also in the combination with the lightning, 13 instead of 14 elixirs, so could help, especially against any type of building deck. Then we got the Bomber and the Dark Moon, pretty classic for splash. Then we got the Mighty Miner as a single target damage unit, which shreds Golem, which is really good against Giants, against Goblin Giants, so generally really good card. Then we need something against air. This is where we have the Baby doing a deck, Lightning Tornado, one of the most solid combinations with the Electro Giant. And then, really interesting, we got the Elixir Collector. I personally think Elixir Collector could make this comeback kinda in beatdown decks as we have it here right now, because every single spell has a negative elixir trait now against Elixir Collector besides Earthquake, and if your opponent actually plays Earthquake, just don't play the Elixir Collector and kinda abuse that your opponent doesn't have a big spell to clean up your backup. So genuinely really solid deck. Let's straight up jump into the game. So guys, because the cards isn't out yet, I'm testing it against Big Spin and CWA today, kinda showing the best games I had, also the greatest Mighty Miner plays, and let's see how the Mighty Miner really does in this deck. So generally, I mean, this is the kind of video going deeper about the Mighty Miner, because I think I got like better game sense also, which I really want to tell you guys, which is the most important thing. If you have like a 1-0 advantage against Mighty Miner, it's absolutely insane, because as we saw in the yesterday's video, when you're using the 2 elixir ability, the Mighty Miner goes opposite lane, straight up. So if you're like going on for the free crown with the Mighty Miner, then you use the ability, then it's directly connecting to the opposite lane tower, and the only way to reset is actually using it as a tank for the Baby Dragon. The only way really resetting is Electro Wizard, is Zappies, Zap. So these are the only real way to reset that, and if your opponent doesn't have an answer, it actually connects to a tower. You cannot block it with a Mega Knight or something. So actually, this deck really great against Bridge Spam. Also, as I said, a deck which could be viable with this card, so actually not a bad deck in general by Big Spin, but this is what I thought. A ton of people might use like Mighty Miner with this, so also, that's a question for you guys. What do you think is the best Mighty Miner deck? Which will be the best Mighty Miner deck? And I'm 100% sure pros will figure that out. People will max the card instantly when it comes out, like the full pay-to-win Triad mode, and try to push it #1, so I'm really excited to show you guys this deck. So, great content, great content coming up, and I'm really excited for that. I'm really motivated to bring the best content possible in YouTube Clash Royale. So I'm just gonna go for the Elixir Collector, and this is also a great thing. People aren't really expecting Elixir Collector. I mean, we're on a death account here, but I'm also thinking that when this happens in the arena, because I mean, I got a solid buff, right? But it feels like kind of for people, kind of surprising, I would say, that the card is finally meta, so people aren't really adjusting a deck. Right now, it's completely fine to play a deck without a big spell, like this type of Bridge Spam decks. There's some Lockbait decks without big spell, so people cannot really do that anymore, because then you get punished by Elixir Collector, as you guys see right now. Also, the Mighty Miner is sometimes a win condition, so you don't really need to play your E-Gen, but right now I'm just going to build up a huge push with the Elixir Collector. Kind of gives me the Golem vibes from 2017, when Golem with Elixir Collector was played. And this is what I think which is going to happen with the new meta, that people are starting to use beatdown decks now again with Elixir Collector. It's never happened like in the last couple of years, just like with Tombstone, with Cage, like the Golden variations, Lava just with Tombstone, but maybe like some variations. Also, the Electro Giant itself does really well, because it always resets it, kind of similar to Inferno Dragon, right? yeah, Electric Giant does really well against his troops. And as you guys can see, the Elixir advantage really helps. The Mighty Miner kind of doing a solid job here. I mean, it's connecting now, so Snowball also knockbacks it, but as you guys can see, this is a really flawless victory using the Elixir Collector, also the Mighty Miner just to pressure him here. Just gonna switch lanes here. GG's well played. First 3-con win. This deck could be the best Mighty Miner deck when this deck, or like when this card officially comes out. Next deck I want to show you is this Graveyard deck. This Graveyard deck could be one of the biggest surprises ever. I mean, Graveyard itself got a nerf -1 Skeleton, which doesn't really matter. I tried out this deck actually a lot, or like Graveyard, because I was like kind of thinking, does it really matter? Because sometimes small things in Clash Royale really matter, but I think in general Graveyard is still one of the best win conditions because it always gets damage and the RNG factor is just so good. Also Archers, they got a buff. They got a really small buff, but still from a card which was already sold, I think a good buff. Then we got the Mega Minion, and we subbed out the Valkyrie. Valk got a significant nerf, so we're using a Mighty Miner instead, and we are able to split Archers, going for the Mighty Miner on one lane. The opponent is going to play the troops like a Packer and Featherdragon on this side, and then we're able to switch lane, support the other Archer with the Mighty Miner, and Graveyard on top, also having Tombstone and Skeletons. Tombstone still really good after trying out a lot, and yeah, just really solid. I mean, also against Mighty Miner, and then we got a Snowball to push back Mighty Miners, to push back troops. Generally a really solid deck, and this might be my favorite Mighty Miner deck. In this game, I'm playing in CWA. You might already saw his games, but I really want to go deeper about this gameplay. Actually, I have the Barbarian Ball instead of the Barbarian Ball instead of the Snowball. I thought maybe Snowball could be better also against the Mighty Miner afterwards. So both are viable. I mean, if you face a ton of lockbait, this is insane. But I'm just so excited for the content, guys. And yeah, I'm so motivated to show all of the new decks when the balance are coming out. Maybe level 16 cards with the new mirror. So yeah, it will be exciting. I'm just so thankful for the support. The update really actually crushed everything. So thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And I hope you guys also stay tuned for more content. So as you guys can see, this is just absolutely insane how good Tombstone really is. I mean, the Tombstone change didn't really change too much, so it's still a really solid card. So he goes in really aggressive. Honestly, not the bad player. I mean, CWA isn't considered to be the best player in the world, but I still think this is a perfect showing how to use this card. And you're also going to see how good this card really with Graveyard is. I talked to other pros, I talked to Lucas X Gamer, some to Normal Light, and they both said they're going to really think this deck could be good. Or generally, it could be really good with the Golden Miner, the Mighty Miner, Golden Miner, new card. The Mighty Miner with the Graveyard, as I said, what I just said, like with the Archer split, using Mighty Miner in one lane, the opponent needs to play something, and then you're just going to trick him with the Mighty Miner and go opposite lane. This is generally a Graveyard deck, which you saw like a ton of times already. As I said, Archer's got a buff, and generally, it's a really solid deck. So I'm just going for my Mighty Miner here. I'm just going to go for Skeletons. I thought about going in here, but you're playing it defensive. You're playing it passive. You don't really want to overcommit in single elixir time. So what I'm going to do right now is just going to let it go. I mean, the ability, or like the ability kills bats, kills minion hordes, kills all of this stuff. So it wasn't really necessary, I think. So we just go for a really good Mega Minion here, cleaning it up, also killing the Miner, going for Tombstone high. As you guys can see, Tombstone's still really good. He cycles the Snowball actually. So I knew in this situation, okay, we're up elixir, we're going into double elixir time, and as long as the gamer goes, as better the matchup gets for GY decks. So I'm just going for my, how is it called? I think you guys know, Mighty Miner. So I just forgot. So I think at this second, I'm even gonna use my ability now. I thought about also Graveyard, but as you guys can see now, it actually kills also Dark Golem. So the ability in this situation got us a huge positive elixir trace. Also, you need to keep in mind, which, what I'm always saying when you play any type of champion, you get a free card cycle. So yeah, you can actually cycle your troops really fast. So I'm just gonna go for my Miner here, for my Mighty Miner on top of the normal Miner. So it's kind of funny. I don't really know where they did it, like bringing a new Miner in the game. I don't know if it's because of the Miner meme, but yeah, it's actually interesting. So right now, this is the chance which we want to go. I'm also going for Skeletons here. Now I'm just going to use my perfect Graveyard timing, and this is exactly what I said, right? Now the Mighty Miner tanks it actually more HP than a Valkyrie. So yeah, I mean the damage isn't really helpful, but you also need to play your troops like Bats, Spear Golems right on top of the Mighty Miner, which is also great against Graveyard. So this is a good synergy. So this deck actually does pretty well. He has a ton of spam, he has a ton of answers. So this is actually like, he cannot do anything. He cannot do anything. It's just absolutely insane how this deck crushes. So I'm just gonna go for a poison, I think. I think I'm just gonna go Graveyard plus Barbarian Ball here. And as you guys can see, this is the win. Awesome game. Really great strategy. Really good deck. Let me know, as I said, what's like your top like your favorite deck for my top 3 decks, because now there's gonna be a cheesy deck, which I think is gonna be maybe a secret weapon for the new Clash Royale meta. And I'm talking about this 3 Musketeer Pump deck. You might saw us already at CWA's channel. We have the Elixir Pump and the Mirror. The Mirror change +2 levels. So if you play your Elixir Pump or your 3 Musketeers, all your troops, instead of level 12, they go level 13. So this could be actually huge to get a big Elixir advantage. Then you have the bats in. I also thought about Heal Spit, but I think if like the Mighty Miner gets meta, bats are just genuinely good also if your opponent's Fireball Zap. I mean, they can Fireball Zap your Musketeers, but also you have the Elixir Collect and you have bats. And bats also, when you play them in the back and you play Mighty Miner to tank like a normal miner, with the ability, switch lanes there could be really, really helpful. Also having some bridge spam units and also having a Barbarian Ball to clean up all the swarm troops. So generally, a weird deck which could be meta and could be like a really secret weapon, as I said, which could surprise people. And actually, this deck seems really underrated. I think this game is a perfect example. So it just genuinely absolutely insane. So we still need to keep in mind, we cannot have the Elixir Pump on starting hand. So this is genuinely good, because this makes like kind of rock, paper, scissors like even bigger. If you're gonna go for Pump and then Mirror the Pump when your opponent goes in for a Fireball, right? So let's go for my bandit here. As I said, you can also not mirror the Mighty Miner. You always need to keep that in mind. So let's go for my Mighty Miner in the back. Mighty Miner comes down. So I think in this situation, I'm just gonna go in for my 3 Musketeer split. And if he uses his spell, I'm completely fine with that. I really want him normally to use my spell. So my Mighty Miner still tanks, and you guys will see one really huge Mighty Miner play soon. So Mighty Miner with bats, and also with the 3 Musketeers. Don't really want to spoil you too much. Could be a really good combination. So the only problem is really with 3 Musketeers. I mean, it costs 10 elixir. Maybe there's going to be like another deck which could be good. Also thinking about this is what Big Spin actually brought up to me. That could be like Graveyard Pump could be meta. Back then Graveyard Pump was meta. So yeah, maybe this type of decks that you even played in Cycle decks, and Bridge Spam decks, and Packer Bridge Spam decks, like even just a Pump, because Pump gets so good. I mean, there's going to be more Earthquake, right? So other decks get better again. So this will be actually quite interesting. So as you guys can see, he's going in with the poison on top of the pump. It's a -1 elixir trade for CWA here after the balance changes. Keep that in mind. You need to keep up, honestly, a lot in mind. So in this situation, I'm just gonna go for, I should have gone for a Baby Dragon or like for, honestly, Mighty Miner or Bandit the Bridge to block, but I didn't. So he actually gets like a ton of value out of that, and I actually take a ton of damage. So at least my pump still stays alive, and I rather take a ton of damage on my tower and having a pump on the map. Better than not having a pump on the map and not taking a ton of damage, as you guys can see, because my my elixir advantage will hopefully get him throughout the game. So I mean, I have a pump on the map. He could poison that, but he's not gonna decide to. And yeah, as you guys can see, this elixir advantage already is absolutely insane. So you can use my Mighty Miner here, because I cannot mirror it, right? So I still have the elixir pump in hand. So I'm just gonna go in for my 3 Musketeer split, I guess. Now I'm gonna do it. So 3 Musketeers are coming down. He's mostly gonna poison. I kind of baited his poison like hardcore there. So I'm just gonna go for another elixir pump, because you can. He doesn't really have any way to punish me there. So yeah, this is fine. Let's see what he does next. I think I'm just going to chill. I thought about going for another pump, but I'm just going to keep up the pressure. He cannot go in. And I think in this situation, I'm just going to go in for my another 3 Musketeers. Now I'm just going to wait until he like goes in for a poison, which is absolutely fine. So I think I'm going to go for another 3 Musketeers split. And this is going to be the push which gets him. So going for the 3 Musketeers in the back, getting all of the elixir. And now, as you guys can see, I'm up. We have like kind of 3 Musketeers for free right now. We are on the same elixir. It's absolutely insane. So I'm just going to use my Mighty Miner thing on the left side. Oh no, I'm going to use actually on the right side, but I think this will be like a push, which just could be really, really devastating for him. So actually use this Barbarian Ball on defense. So I think in this situation, I'm going to use my Mighty Miner to push to the opposite lane and tank for the 2 Musketeers and also for the Royal Ghost. So this is kind of how I got the game. So I want him to go on opposite lane. The opponent's gonna panic if it's at the tower on the right side exam, because then they're gonna say, oh, I need to kind of redirect it. It needs to go away. So they're committing a ton of elixir, and then you're using the ability, and then it's at the opposite lane tower at the tower, and the opponent cannot do anything. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm honestly really excited about the update. I love this one. It's one of my favorite updates for like 2 or 3 years in the game. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. And I would say I'm out. Make sure to use Critical Mode and also subscribe to the channel. Peace out. Thanks for watching and goodbye, guys.